Morning, Jules here. So here we are, we've got another take and create, and this is our double tag, the autumn version, and it's beautiful autumny colours, and it's the leaves, oranges, reds. We have a double tag and it's got the scalloped edges. We've got half tag which sits on as a pocket, so we've got a side pocket. We've got two small pockets that will sit, you know, you can have one a bit further up and this one a bit further down. We've got a tag with the same scalloped edges, and we've got a label to pop in the side. And I have printed on the back. Now this page is a freebie in my Facebook group. It is not on my Ko-fi, so if you want this freebie you need to join my Facebook group, agree to the rules, you know, terms and conditions, and answer the question, and you'll get in, somebody will answer it and add the join to you. So with the magic editing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out and I'm going to come back to you. But before I do, there's no, apart from that and that, there's no ephemera, no other bits and pieces. You'll know that with my take and create, some of them you get little bits and pieces and you can use them. You know, you can, you know, if you get one of these, you don't have to print it out once, you can print it out 2 or 3 times, 4 times, 100 times and use the bits and pieces. You can use these as separate tags. You can use these as tags, you know, to go in, but you can use all the bits of ephemera that you've had in past take and creates and things like that. So I've also got some bits of ribbon, kind of pick the colours. There's lace, and we'll see what we're going to do with that, and we've got some book pages and stuff. So once again I'm going to go away and I'm going to cut this out and I will be back. See you in a bit. Okay, that's me back. So cut them out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to crease this in half, and hopefully I'll get it right, because I always manage to mix something up. Now I'm holding it together. Oh. No, I've done it, haven't I? That's it. That's it. I've got the white line. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to ink around the edges. You can use any, I'm going to use Scotch timber. Well, I'm going to try Scotch timber because it's darker. And just with it being a darky, autumny, it's not, I don't do Halloween. However, you can put your Halloween bits and pieces on these tags. It's just, I don't do Halloween, I don't like Halloween. So, but it's entirely up to you. So there's our, now you can put that way, or you can put it that way, and I think I'm going to have it that way, but it doesn't matter because it needs. And you'll see that when I design these, that there is kind of a dark edge round, so that, you know, for people that don't have all the fancy inks and things like that, or can't be bothered, and just like a little bit, it's there. And there's the, so that's it all inked around. I might put a little bit more ink around it later on, I don't know, but we'll see. So I'll just shove this out the way. And now what I do want to do is I want to glue this up. You can leave it like that and have it open like a folio, and you could put your pockets in there if you wanted. However, I like mine closed, so I've got like a wee pocket. And because I'm not using my glue as much as what I was using, it's, there we are. Now what I usually do is I usually just do that little bump. And then we just fold it up. Fold it out that way. And we're putting that one on there. Okay. And there you've got your autumn ticket will go in there like that. Yep. And then we've got this one. Now that one, you can do this high like that with the high, or you can do it, you know, like just a little pocket on a little pocket, and I quite like the little pocket on the little pocket, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just And before you do all this, if you want, you can put material and stuff like that on it, but I'm going to put my ribbon and lace and things on it once it's done. So I'm going to put some lace on that. Now what I do want is I want a ribbon slider, and there we are, and a ribbon slider there. And then what we'll do is we'll decide, do we want this ribbon? I quite like this ribbon, I do like it. I think it just matches nice. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie it in the front. I'm a bit frugal with my ribbon, so we'll just pull that in a bit. There we are. Waste not, want not. And then what I do is just to give it like a bow, like so I fold it in half and I cut it from the outside to the middle like that. And then do the same with this one. And again, you do have to cut a little bit off, but not as much as what there was. There we are. That's so pretty. And I like the big ribbons, especially the organza and the satiny ribbons, because they always look nice. Now, are we going to do the same with that one? I think we'll need to, won't we? So again, pull it through. Tie it, pull it to the front. Again. And these bits they'll do for little bits of labels and things like that. So we've got that. So I think we've finished with that. Now with this we've got some do we want any ribbon, any lace on it? Or do we want some lace down there? That would be nice, wouldn't it? Yep. See if my... Yep. Right, we'll take this out. And this is just a way of using up all your bits of lace and that you just want to use up. And the glue I'm using is fabric glue. It's Trimmits. I'm not sure if you get it in the States, but you definitely get it over here. But you can use Fabric in the States, which is easier to get hold of than it is over in here in Britain. Just holding that like that. And what I fancied was just a material label. I've got some stamps that might got one here that says antiques, or we've got boutique flares. I think we'll try that one. So it doesn't have to be an autumn stamp, it can be any kind of stamp. I just like stamping on material. And I will use the Onyx VersaFine. And there we are, and that looks perfect. Oh. Done that. And there, because I've ripped it, it's got nice loose bits. I did have some I don't know what I did with it. I had some edges, but never mind. Okay, now I've got glue strings all over. Okay, and we'll have a look at some buttons, I think. They're not old enough, I don't think. I think I want an orange one, which is maybe more of a modern one, but we've got some little. That's nice. Yeah, I think that one. So, yep. And it's kind of flat, it's not. There. I'm just waiting on this drying off a little bit, and I think we might do a little bit of stamping on this as well. You can leave these as they are, or you can stamp them up. It's entirely up to you. I like to stamp them up. I mean, there is kind of stamps on them, but it just adds to the layers. So if you put another stamp on, it's just that, and there's like a stamp there. So put that there. That looks nice. I quite like that. I quite like the antique wording as well. Anything antique looks good. And we'll just, yeah, really do it before you put your bows in, but I like to see what it looks like before I decide what to do. So we've got that. Could we do a wee... it's not too bad. But I think what we'll have a look and see what bits and pieces we've got. Yeah. So I'm just going to ink around the edge of this. This is just, it was cut out of a pad. There was like just a full page of like postcards and letters and stuff like that. and it was about 200 GSM. It was quite a heavy duty paper, and I just sat and cut them all up one day, just to use as these bits. And I think what I might do is I might put a grommet in this one. And we're going to put that way. Change that round. That. I don't need any ribbon in that. Might put a little bit of thread, but definitely no ribbon. I've got some bits of thread here, and one of the things I like to do is just garden twine, garden string. I love garden twine. I might need to use a little bit just to get it tied in a knot, and then you can perfect. Okay. And we'll just put a little bit of that over, and just take this one. I'm not even going to do a perfect, just give it a little rough element so you can still write on it, but it still looks oldie worldy. And there we are. So all we have to do really is to wait for the glue to dry. So we've got our, oops, Sally Belly. Let's just take it off. That's it. So I'm just going to ink around this a little bit more. Just didn't seem to be inked round enough. And I was going to put the lace on that one, but I decided against it, didn't I? But I quite like that. And you can put photographs and things like that in these. You can, you can have like your little bits, pieces in there that you want to write on. We've got some cabinet cards and things that are a bit too modern for this, but it's just to show you what you can pop in. It's quite nice, and we'll keep her in. Oh. And these are just freebies that I've got. They're either through my Ko-fi or through my Facebook group, or they've come with with one of the kits or one of the Take and Creates. So if you just go through and have a look and see what there is. So there we are. There we've got a nice, pretty little journal, double tag, and I'm looking for again, this is just page, and again that'll sit in a pocket. You can either have it that way, you know, or you can have it that way. You could put a strip of material like, you know, and fix it on so it opens up like that, like a hinge. It's entirely up to you. I kind of like to use them as singular, just on their own, and just pop in a pocket. So I hope you get something out of this, and I will see you in the next video. And I hope you enjoy the Take and Create. So just remember, it's free on my Ko-fi. You saw the page, that's how it comes. You just cut it out, you download it, cut it out, and you assemble it. And you can add your own bits and pieces like ribbons and things like that, or you don't have to put, you can put grommets and, or just leave it as is. So I'll see you. Bye.